registration form. So I have made the CSS already. You can see the CSS code here, and at the very top you see I've linked it. So if we go back to the browser, you see the form already set up here, but we've not yet implemented it with JavaScript. What I mean is we need to validate the user inputs, get the user inputs, then validate them. But we've not yet done that currently. So let's quickly get into that. So I have my JavaScript folder file over here. So I'm just going to close down this place, then split my terminal, split my window rather, and then have my HTML beside and my JavaScript. So first, the form has full name, it also has email, it has password and confirm password, then with a button that has a type of submit. Very important. Type submit, very important. So what we need to do first is to get the form by its ID. So how do we do that? So we go ahead and say documents dot get elements by ID. What is the ID? The ID is registration form. So we copy this, we put it down here like this. So close this. Now we need to attach an event listener. So say dot add event listener this way. So add event listener in this case is going to take two parameters. So the first parameter is going to take will be as submit. So we want this the event here is going to be submit because when we submit the form, trigger a function for us. So we could possibly write the function. Let me close down this. So we can possibly write the function. Now I'm going to pass a parameter to the function. So this function is not actually going to have a name. So I'm just going to leave it like that. Cool. Now inside the function, we now hit enter. Now, but first, we need to prevent the default behavior of forms, which is when you submit a form, it often reloads the browser. So we need to stop that. We need to stop that particular action. So we use the same parameter we pass here to stop that. So we could say e dot prevent default like this. So this line prevents the normal behavior of form. After we've done that, we'll now go ahead to get our form values. So go ahead to get our form values. The form values I mean is the name, the inputs, whatever these are typed in the input. So we'll go ahead to get that. So I'm going to say right here, I can say let name equal to documents dot is an ID. So get elements by ID. What's the ID? The ID is going to be this name. So take that, put it here like this, and we'll close back our brackets. We close down the brackets, say dot value. So we just want to tap in and get the value, right? So dot value. Now we also want to trim some spaces. So if there are spaces, so we'll trim them off. So that's why we are passing trim over here. So let's also go ahead and get for email. So our email is this one over here. So the same method. So I can say I can actually duplicate this shift alternate down arrow key. I'll duplicate, change this variable to email. So change the ID. The ID is email. So change it to email. Um, we also duplicate to do for password. So change this to password first. So say password this way. We'll change this to same password, right? Um, we also get the confirm password. That's this last one here. So we'll duplicate this again. Shift alternate down arrow key. So we'll say confirm password. So we'll copy the ID. So put it down here, and then we can call this one C. C password, C for confirm password. So that's the first approach. Now, what we need to now do is to um, also clear our error messages, because you can see below here we have extra divs to get errors for each of the input fields. You can see all of them here. You can see as well my email has it. So you just need to put it down. If you don't have it, you also just need to put it down. So now let's get these guys and then clear the errors. So first we'll get them. So this has a class, not an ID. So we can say name error. We can say let's name error equal to documents dot is query selector, or it has a class of error and it also has an ID. So we could either go with the class or go with the ID. So since we are using get elements by ID already, let's just use the ID. All right. So we say document dot get elements by ID. So our ID is name error. So get it, copy, put it down here like this. So close the bracket. So it's that simple. So we'll stop here. So I'll duplicate for multiple errors. So this one will be for email error. This one is gonna be for password. So we just need to change them appropriately. So copy this email error, then put it down here. Shift, put it down here that way. So we also um, get our password error. So password error. So scroll down, look at it over here. We'll get it. We'll copy this. We'll also put it down here. So we'll also get the last one, which is for the confirm password. So we'll duplicate it as well. Shift alternate down arrow key. I'll say C password error. So see, come down here, copy that of this one, right? Copy this, then pass it down there like that. So that's how. So having done this, we need to declare a variable. So we'll declare another variable. Say let is valid. So let's continue with our naming convention. Is valid equals to, we'll pass it through, assign true to it. After which we'll now start getting all these errors. We'll now start getting values of this particular inputs, each of them. So we could say if bracket name is triple equal to, if it's empty, so if it's empty, if name is empty, what should happen? We could say call this error now. If it's empty, we'll call this error, put it down here, dot text content. So we can write something inside the text content. We can say full name is required. Full name is required. So end it with semicolon and then say is valid. We say reassign something to it. We say false. So it means that if name is empty, give us this error, and then is valid returns false. So that's what that means. So shift alternate F to properly align this. So also go ahead and do for the email. We can say if email is still empty, or this should be if email triple equals to is empty, what should happen? We say get this particular error, pass it down here, and see dot text content. So we now say email is what required, right? Email is required, and then we now say what is valid equals to what, say false. So we can now say else. So this else means if it is not empty, do what? So we can now say, so this should have been else if, let's pass down else if, and then we need to add the condition here as well. So else if we can now say exclamation. So we're now like saying if email does not include a particular pattern, if the email dot include includes, so if it doesn't include a particular pattern, and that pattern is this guy, so the bracket. So if it does not, if the email does not include this @ symbol, so also do something else for us. So that's what this means. So we can also say call back the email error, call back this email error here, pass this down here, dot text content will now see what enter a valid email address. Just this is just a basic validation. You can say enter a valid email address like this. I made a typo. Enter a valid email address and will return is valid. Is valid. Still what? False. This way. So we've done for the name, the email. So let's do for password. So we go down and now say if password. So we'll be checking for the password length. All right. So if password dot length length, if password dot length is less than 6, so if it's less than 6, so we'll get the error field, password error field, which is this one. We'll get it, put it down here and say dot what? Text contents. We'll now say, we'll now declare an error. Password must be at least 6 characters. Say password must be at least 6 characters, like that. So we also end it with semicolon. Also end this one with semicolon. So return is valid equals to what? Equals to false. This way. Now we need to also check our confirm password field. We also need to get our confirm password field. So we'll say if let me quickly look up for the variable c password, this one. So if the password doesn't match, so if this guy doesn't match with our password, if it doesn't match, so what should happen? We'll return something. We can say we'll get this guy, copy, paste it down here, dot text contents, say what? Say passwords do not match. Say password do not match. So and we also return what? False. We say is valid equals to what? False, like this. So another thing we need to now do is to now check if is valid is true. If is valid is true, we need to alert a success message. We need to alert a success message. We can say let's check if we have a success message below here. So you can see we have a success message here. So we also need to get the success message. So we can say something like get it first and then update it, right? So we can, or maybe we can alert. Okay, let's just alert. We can say alert. So what are we alerting? Registration successful, like this. So we might also clear the form inputs, like clearing the whole form input. So we could just like get the form like the way we did at the very top. So like the way we did here. So we just do something like this, copy this and paste it down here. So let's just keep it straight so it does not confuse us like this. So we just have to reset the form dot. We'll just call reset. So reset is a method to reset our form. So like that. So also end with semicolon. Now it's all set up correctly. So now let's go back to the browser. But now let's make sure our JavaScript is linked to the HTML. So do not forget that. All right. So it's actually linked. So let's go back to the browser and then let's try to sign up without filling any of the fields. So you can see it tells us full name is required. The error message is coming from JavaScript. So I'll try to put our full name and then our password. Now remember our password must be at least 6 characters long. Now we'll put like 4 and then try to make this one 6. Now the password doesn't match and the password is not up to 6 characters in length, and let's see what it gives us. So it tells us that password must be at least 6 characters and then the password do not match. So I'll see you in the next class. Bye.